Hi everyone, it's Daniel here for Design Break, and if you're looking to take on a graphic or a web designer for a future project, I thought I might give you a few tips on how to pick the best one for you. So there's three main things I'll cover in the video today, and that's the portfolio, the cost, and the service offering. So I'll start with the portfolio, and obviously there's a lot of information you can get from looking at a portfolio. The first and most obvious one will be the quality of the work. So if you are looking at a designer's portfolio and you like the stuff that's there, you like what you see, then it's usually a good indication of the quality of work they can produce. It's kind of the first barrier. But the second, slightly less obvious thing to look for would be the consistency in the portfolio. So designers are only ever going to post their best work on their portfolio. So if you see a range of work, some of which looks really good and some that looks a bit iffy, it could be that they are maybe outsourcing some of the work and doing some in-house, and maybe the good work is what they're doing in-house and they're outsourcing cheaper projects, or vice versa. It can be the other way around too. But bear in mind, this is supposed to be their best work. So if there's some projects there that aren't quite as high quality, then it does introduce a potential for a risk with your own project as to whether it's going to end up being one of those good projects or one of the slightly poorer ones. One other thing with a portfolio is most portfolios don't have a date on them, so you can't see the dates of when they were posted, but sometimes you can get an idea of when the project was completed based on the context or the contents of the portfolio item. It shocks me how many agencies have really, really old portfolio pieces. And I can understand if it's a really big project that won awards, you want to keep that on there as long as possible, but if they only have, and as some agencies do, only really like 5 or 6 main like testimonials or case studies, portfolio pieces, then, and some of these are really old, you've got to kind of wonder how often they're producing a quality of work that they're happy enough to put on their portfolio, which is, I guess, kind of the last thing there is how much recent work is on their portfolio. And it could be a lot of agencies just don't update their websites that often. That's fair enough. I can kind of understand if you're really busy with the project work. We've been there before with our own agency. You're so busy that the time it takes to put together a portfolio piece, you don't have time for it. But if you see only 1 or 2 items posted in the last couple of years, it might be an indication that the work that they're producing most of the time isn't the best of their ability and isn't work that they're proud of enough to put on their portfolio. This is just a personal thing. Maybe it's just that they only feel they need to add 1 item per year and they'll just pick the best one. Personally, with our agency, about 90% of the work on our portfolio is done within the last year or 2 years. But of course, that's our own kind of personal view on it. So the second thing is cost. This is obviously a huge topic that could be a video on its own. Costs will vary wildly depending on your location, but it's an old saying, you get what you pay for. This is definitely the case. 99% of the time, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. If you've had a couple of quotes from different designers and there's one that's maybe super cheap and you're kind of like dubious about what's going on there, something I find that's helpful is if you ask the designer if they have a portfolio item or a similar project they could show you that was of the same kind of value. And we've actually done this once or twice with clients before, or prospects, is to give them an idea of what we're going to deliver. We'll show them an example of a similar project in a similar sort of value, similar to what they're trying to achieve themselves. So I can't really talk about specifics really because it varies so much on location, but it's true, you get what you pay for. And if you're working with an agency with 5 or 10 staff, then you're going to pay more as opposed to if you were using a student. But then of course there's less risk that agency is going to disappear or get a job somewhere else. So yeah, that's really all I can say on the cost. So the final thing is the service offering. So it might seem easier when you're starting out with a project to find an agency that will handle everything for you. So if you're looking to have a brand refresh done and you're going to have your website developed at the same time, then you might also want to get an SEO strategy put in place, a marketing strategy, all of those accompanying elements you want to all come together. However, what you might end up finding yourself in is a situation where you're working with a jack of all trades who's a master of none. And that kind of situation, you end up with kind of a muddied approach For example, in our agency, we focus on a strategy-first approach to brand development and to web design and development. So we don't handle advanced SEO strategies or marketing campaigns, and we keep our service offering to just those two main things: the development of a brand, which can include printed material and the way that brand expresses itself, and then also web and digital development, which again can vary slightly from regular websites to e-commerce to other digital solutions. But it's still two key areas. So, and the reason for this is that SEO on a website, especially advanced SEO and ad campaigns like Google Ads, it's such a hugely deep topic that we couldn't possibly learn everything there is to know about that and still keep all the knowledge that we have in the design aspect of it. So there's just no way for someone to be an expert completely on all of these subjects. So we would always suggest our clients to see a range of partners that we work with who offer these services. The same with marketing campaigns. Obviously, there are marketing companies out there, many of them, who are specialists on just that. So we don't get involved with the marketing side. So I guess really what I'm saying here is that unless it's a really large agency that has a specialist in every field available to you, it's often better to go for an agency that is specializing in only a few services. And that way, you know that the person or people you'll be working with are going to be experts at what they do. And then when it comes to the marketing and the SEO or anything else you're doing from that point on, you can work with a specialist in that field as well. And that way you're going to have the best people working on your project without having to go to an agency that might be really big and might, demand massive budgets that will be out with your reach. So this is the best way if you're working with small to medium size agencies. So this is a bonus point, and it might actually be one of the most important things, and that is how you get on with the designer that you're working with. So you'll probably be able to tell when you first meet a designer for the initial consultation whether or not your personalities are going to kind of match. But it's actually quite important with design because it's a creative process, and if you aren't able to speak honestly with the designer and tell them if you do or don't like what they're creating or the direction that you want to go in, you're going to have trouble later down the line. And then when it comes to the review process, you're just going to end up with a lot of friction where, the designer said, this is what I thought we were supposed to be creating, and it's not your vision, and the communication is kind of broken down there. So communication is a key thing. You need to be able to communicate with the designer. And I think having a sort of similar personality match there definitely helps. Especially if you're working with a smaller agency. So in our agency, my partner Ailey and I are the only staff. So we have a very close relationship with all of our clients. They speak to us. We're the only people they speak to. So it's really important that they can get on with us and that they feel like they can, speak to us honestly and give us feedback when required. So, and that's what we really want in our agency, is a really close relationship with our clients, and to work with people that appreciate our style and the work that we do, and to work with them to come towards a common goal. So yeah, finding a designer with a personality that's going to kind of similar to yours, or that you can get on well with, is also really important. So that's it, just 3 or 4 things there about picking a web or a graphic designer. There of course are other things, too many to list even, but hopefully this maybe helps you if you're looking to start a project in the near future. And if you are, drop a comment and let us know what that is. Be excited to see what you guys are up to. And if you like the video, please hit like. And if you subscribe to our channel, then you'll see when we post new videos. And I will see you in the next one.